What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I want to talk some Destiny, if I'm honest with you, because, well, the new set, Covert Missions, is coming out soon, promise. It actually is not up to me, but we've been told it is, and I believe them. And the entire set has gone and been revealed, leaked, shown, spoiled, call it what you will. And I did have a good look through, as I tend to do. And Wookiees, ladies and gentlemen. There are Wookiees in here. And actually, as I looked through the set, the first thing that jumped out to me was Wookiees. Let's have a look, shall we? Now, in terms of characters, there really is a pair of characters that kind of seem to make the deck pretty much by themselves. We've got Kashyyyk Warrior. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And we've got Tarful. Now, they are both red characters, which does lock you into a red deck. But Kashyyyk Warrior, we've got an 8 or 11 cost, depending whether you're using 1 or 2 dice. We've got 10 health. And we're doing a lot of melee damage here. 1, 1, 2 with a resource, if you pay it. Gain a resource or get rid of one of your opponent's resources. But it has got a lovely little skill. Before you resolve one of this character's character dice showing damage, which half of them will, increase its value by 1 if this character has 6 or more damage. So if you're on the verge, if you're kind of down with 4 health or less remaining, you can just increase its value by 1. That's a good thing. Now, Tarful has a lot of similarities. It's got a bit more health at 11, but it's a bit more expensive at 11 or 14, depending whether you use 1 or 2 dice. We've actually got a possibility of range damage here, with either 1 or 2 melee damage. We've also got the opportunity to, well, we've got 2 focus there, turn 2 dice in your pool to the side of your choice, or gain a resource, so I would say a better dice there on Tarful as well. But each other Wookiee character you control has 1 health. So that Kashyyyk Warrior we were just talking about goes from 10 up to 11. And before you resolve one of this character's character dice showing damage, you increase its value by 1 if this character has 6 or more damage. So we've got the exact same skill going on there. If you're going to be doing damage with the character dice, if you've got 6 or more damage on you, you can increase the value by 1. As a side note, putting these all up to 11 health using Tarful really does help, because that's 1 more damage that you can take to activate the extra dice damage without actually getting you that much closer to being KO'd. It's a good thing. And generally speaking, we would go, well, how about 2 warriors with 1 dice and 1 Tarful with 2 dice? That makes 30 points. That sounds good. Yes, but there's actually a plot here we may wish to use instead. You see, if you're willing to use 2 Kashyyyk Warrior with 1 dice, that puts you up to 16. Add a Tarful with 1 dice puts you up to 27. Gives you 3 of your points remaining, and oh look, we've got a nice little plot here, Valorous Tribe. It's got an action whereby you exhaust this plot to move up to 2 damage from a character to a character you control. Then you may spot a Wookiee to heal 1 damage from a character. So this will allow you to get enough damage on to activate your extra skills, and it lets you do a little bit of healing as well. You do have to move your damage, which is a little bit sad, and it does seem to allow you to move damage from your opponent's characters to yours, which I suppose you might want to do occasionally, but it gives you extra options and it lets you activate the skills on your characters, which is something you're probably going to be wanting to do. So I suppose the choice is, either you go for your free cost Valorous Tribe, or you add a second dice in with Tarful. Now, if we want other Wookiees, I had a little bit of a look on Star Wars Destiny database, very nice site incidentally. I had a look for what Wookiees we've got at the moment. We got 1 non-rotated Wookiee, Chewbacca the Beast. 12 or 15 cost, but one of the skills depends on you having another scoundrel in play. Does give this character Guardian if you do, which is nice. And it's got the other thing there. Before you resolve one of this character's character dice showing damage, increase its value by 1 if this character has 6 or more damage. Oh, look at that. So it's got the same thing going on there, and the 13 health is very high, but the problem we have there is that you really want another scoundrel on your team to make the most of it, which takes you away from being more of a Wookiee team. Not to mention, of course, that this has 2 ranged, 1 melee damage, whereas when we're looking at Kashyyyk Warrior here, we're all melee damage, and when we're looking at Tarful, we've got 2 melee, 1 range, so I don't know. I like to keep them grouped as well as I can. What I'm saying is, I don't think that Chewbacca fits into our Wookie deck. Now, we do actually have Vengeful Wookie, who is a 7-cost character with no dice, 9 health, and before you activate this character, you may re-roll a die. Then you may remove a die if this character has 6 or more damage. It's taking up 7 of the points towards your deck, which I don't know how much I'm loving, especially when you consider that Kashyyyk Warrior can come in with 1 dice at 8. But it does let you re-roll a dice before you activate it, and remove a die if you've got 6 or more damage, that you've only got 9 health, so you need to be careful. Though I suppose Tarful will put you up to 10. Point is, it's there as a yellow character, it fits in a yellow deck with Chewbacca. Not sure how much I love it, if I'm honest with you. So if we're assuming then that we're playing a red Wookie deck with Tarful and Kashyyyk Warrior, what else do we have? Well, we've got a couple of cards that help out Wookiees. We've got Fling, a 3-cost grey card. You spot a Wookiee character to exhaust another character that has less health than that Wookiee. So you need quite a lot of health here. And to be fair, we got Tarful building up our health, that's quite nice. But we've also got Fortitude here. A 2-cost red card, you attach it to a character to give it +3 health. But if it's a Wookiee, you give it +4 health. And then, of course, if you've got +4 health, plus the +1 health from Tarful, all of a sudden you're building up your health quite nicely, and Fling becomes a much better card. Similarly, we've got Imposing Figure. Now, if you can really build your health up here, Imposing Figure is a 0-cost red card, a free card, that gives you 1 resource if you control the character with the most health. So, what you're doing here is building up your health using those cards we've been talking about. Then you get to the most health and you're like, boom, give me a resource for free. That sounds like fun to me, ladies and gentlemen. Then, of course, we get Feat of Strength, a 1-cost red card. Lets you spot a character with 10 or more health. Well, when you bear in mind, Tarful and Kashyyyk Warrior have 10 health, so, or at least 10, we're there already. Wouldn't work so well with Vengeful Wookie, except Vengeful Wookie's got 9 health. If you got Tarful, you go up to 10, you're good. So once you've spotted that character that has 10 or more health, you can remove a die showing damage, or up to 2 dice showing damage instead, if that character has 15 or more health. Now, getting up to the 15 or more health is a little bit awkward. Now, we would be going, well, you know, Chewbacca, but firstly, Chewbacca's yellow, and secondly, Chewbacca with Tarful would still only be 14. Really here, as soon as you whack a Fortitude on with Tarful out, then either your Tarful or your Kashyyyk Warrior will be up at 15 health. That's how you get up to the 15 here quite nicely, and then you're paying 1 resource to remove 2 dice. That seems fun. And we're actually building up a quite nice little deck. This is one of the decks we see that kind of makes itself a little bit. Because if you want to go for the red deck, and you'll notice that the cards I'm showing you here are basically red and grey, really, the only choice is whether you go for the plot or the extra dice on Tarful. And then you build up your health, and you get to play around with all these other things, like Feat of Strength to remove dice, like Imposing Figure to get extra resources, etc. Now there are some more. We've got Swing In, which is a red event, 2 cost. Spot any number of characters that each have 10 or more health, to roll 1 character die on each of them into your pool. Well, all your characters here have 10 or more health, so that seems quite fun. And we can mention Wookie Rage, a 0-cost card with Ambush, means you get to take another action straight away. And until the end of the action phase, each before ability on your Wookie characters that contains has 6 or more damage now says has 1 or more damage instead. Oh, look at that. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Now, it's free, which is lovely, and it's got ambush, which basically means you don't even take your action to play it. You resolve it, but then you can immediately play another action. And now, all of a sudden, that 6 or more damage becomes 1 or more damage. And now, if we take another look at Valorous Tribe, move 2 damage to a character, boo, heal 1, oh look, now you've only got 1 damage left on you. And Wookie Rage wants you to have 1 damage on you. This fits together very, very nicely. And I should quickly mention Wookie Protection, a 1-cost red card. Each of your Wookie characters has Guardian. So that's another reason to not play Chewbacca the Beast, because you get Guardian anyway. After you remove a die using Guardian, you may exhaust this support to draw a card. Now, Guardian basically says that you may remove a die showing damage from your opponent's dice pool and deal damage equal to the value to the activating Guardian character. But then you get to exhaust this support, the Wookie Protection, and draw a card, so you got a little bit of built-in draw power as well. I cannot be the only one that saw the spoilers for this set and went, I want to make a Wookie deck. I really want to make a Wookie deck. And maybe it won't be good enough. Maybe it's destined to be a little bit weaker. But Feat of Strength lets you remove dice. Fling lets you exhaust characters. Fortitude gives you extra health. Imposing Figure gives you resources for free. Swing In lets you roll extra character dice in. And Wookie Rage lets you do all of your skills for less damage. Not to mention you've got, I mean, to be fair, right, between Tarful, if you go for the 2 Kashyyyk Warriors, you're sitting there rocking 33 health in total, and you get to constantly be increasing the value of the dice you roll. This is one of the decks, maybe the deck, I am most excited about having a play with from Covert Missions, and I did not think I'd be getting all hyped up about Wookiees. But there we go. But at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know from you, are you hyped up about the Wookiees? Which of these cards do you think look good? Do you think a Wookie deck can win? Or do you think it's just not going to ever end up being good enough? Also, what else would you play? Give me some other ideas for the deck. Go nuts in the comment section, but remember the rule. Be nice, would you? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Star Wars, Destiny, and any other games that take our fancy. And do please consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get weekly bonus pods, and all kinds of other fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.